Hello, guys, and welcome down to. Did you just dab? What? Mikhile is back. I'll snap the intro. Mikhile, yo, how are you doing, man?
I am very good. I'm very happy.
I'm not surprised. We'll get into that. Hello to everyone in the chat. Hello, Ben hello to Fahrenheit. Hello to Tech Andrew. Hello to Allison. Hello to Danielle. Hello to everyone who's watching. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And if you are new to the podcast, guys, please do hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow us on all our socials, like this video, and follow us on all podcast streaming platforms. Okay, now all that shit's out the way. Mikhile, so Velocicoaster, how was it?
Wow.
Boom, straight into it.
You've been avoiding asking that question.
Right, we've been in a call for half
My guy
an
just
hour,
said, cut
right?
the bullshit. Just talk to me. Velocicoaster.
Let's go.
You cannot
I
go
want to
to
talk
main
raptors,
event.
dinosaurs, Harry Potter. Like, mate, we've got so much to cover. We have so much to cover. We have so much. But just a quick one before we do. The Clamshell Awards are now open for nominations, guys. And if you don't know what that are, Jordan at Cupcake and Coasters runs an award every year to help support the community and all the creators in the community across every single platform pretty much this year, which is amazing. So you can nominate over on Cupcake and Coasters. The template is there. You get it, you copy it, you write your nominations down, and you send Jordan a direct message or an instant message on Facebook, and then your nominations are in. We would love your nomination. We really would. We're a very young podcast, but it would be amazing, honestly. It would be so cool. And all you guys are awesome, and the community is just insane. It's just great to be a part of anything. So go over there, nominate, and support everyone as well. Nominate for your favorite creators across the board: bloggers, social media, photography, production, podcast. Just saying. So cheers for Jordan again for running the clamshells this year. Archie just put up a little video which was really cool. If you've not seen it, go and check that out on his Twitter account. That was cool. Hello to Parksville. Joe's watching. I'm guessing they're still driving. Sean can't be with us today. He's
trapped on the motorway.
Traffic
like that with the hands on the wheel, you know.
Probably
dying to ask Mikhile all the questions. So if you want to ask him any questions, Sean, let me know and I'll ask him. So, Mikhile, for people that don't know, tell everyone where you've been and what you've been up to for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, so I my most recent trip plans just happened to work out in the best way possible at like the last minute, right? When the travel ban on the US opened back up on the 8th of November, and I just happened to have a trip to Florida lined up for like later on in that week. So yeah,
just happened.
I've been in Florida for the past 2 weeks, which is where I met Allison in the chat. You shouted her out, but yeah, she's in the chat right now. Allison is somebody I met over in Orlando. She's from Atlanta.
Awesome. Hey, Allison.
She's one of the most awesome people I've ever met. So shout out to Allison. Hey. Happy. None of you guys are going to know what that means, but she will.
No.
I've never been so confused in my life.
National lottery point at the camera. So
no, literally, we just had this running inside joke of just pointing at Velocicoaster and shouting "happy" whenever the train came past, because Velocicoaster makes everybody happy. So.
Even me, and I've not been on it yet.
Exactly.
So how was it?
I mean, where do I start?
I don't know. Where do you start?
All right,
at the airport.
Before we get into, we will get into Velocicoaster. We will, but I
promise, guys, it's gonna happen.
Let me start by just sort of just prefacing what this trip meant to me, because I know Marcus will be here at some point. Marcus from the Drunk Riders. I already know you're coming.
Invasion.
But like this trip, however out of nowhere it may have seemed, was in the makings since like basically before COVID, honestly. My friend who I stayed with in the second week of the trip, we had been talking about doing a Florida trip since, I want to say, like the back end of 2019.
Nice.
Like it's been a while, and then like obviously I've known about Velocicoaster, and well, Velociraptor with the Buzzed Bars Coaster Club most of this year. So like it's like we've been trying to put it together, and obviously like stressing about whether it could happen with the travel bans and everything, and just waiting to see if we'd be able to do it or not. And it all just obviously came together at the last minute, and came together in the best way possible. So like it was incredible to go from not knowing, you know, if I'd even be able to go to then not only making it out there, but having it just be I can't even shy away from it. It was the event of the year for me, and one of the greatest trips I've had in my life. Like,
awesome, that's so cool. That's awesome.
I can't even lie. Just the people that I met, but just massive shout out to Buzzed Bars, the Coaster Club created by the Drunk Riders, Coasters and Brews, all those guys over there. They're all awesome. And then just everyone associated with Buzzed Bars as well. Everyone who's a member, they're all just like us. Like I was telling them while we were over there, like I wish you guys could meet like all my Chain Dogs guys and all my UK Coaster friends back home. Like we're all the same people. Like we are all just, you know, people, just normal people who appreciate the hell out of everyone's enthusiasm for theme parks and roller coasters and different experiences and stuff, and
beer,
like and getting pissy drunk,
being dragged out of spoons.
Oh, yeah. That's Aaron. There was one thing that could sum up like just us in a nutshell, is that. But yeah, like we are this, like they're just like the same as us. They're exactly the same as us. And I love them all dearly. Like it was so awesome to meet them. You know, develop some incredible friendships over there, and just, you know, create some special memories with all of them. It was amazing.
That's epic. That's so good. I mean, that's why we do this, right? So we can meet new people. So you build a community, and you know, we all get together and have a great time. That's the whole point. This is the whole point of this podcast as well. Like, there's 24 people watching now, and hopefully you guys are just, you know, enjoying it as much as we are. So yeah.
It's like a weekly hangout for us all, really, isn't it? Just like sort of get together, talk about what we love, just enjoy ourselves, a big part of the community.
Therapy session.
Exactly. And
it's cheaper than therapy.
A lot cheaper than therapy.
Yeah. It's cheap.
When Sean's away, I will play. There may be a few of them tonight.
I think you need that on a t-shirt.
Yeah,
you're just gonna have to spam that over and over again.
I was about to cry, so I had to do that. Sorry.
Is that Sam Costello from YouTube?
Is that Sam Costello from YouTube?
Costello
nominate for best newcomer, Sam Costello. Just saying.
Sam Costello from YouTube.
I still need your autograph, bro.
Yeah. Weatherspoon napkins don't last long.
But yeah, like if I forget anything from this trip, then apologies. But let's just get to the bullshit.
Let's go.
Let's just get to the bullshit.
So how was Hagrid's?
Oh, Aaron!
No,
So
it was fun. It was so much fun. I loved that ride. Like that the night ride on there.
Velocicoaster.
Jurassic.
All right.
world.
Okay, I'll ask you a question. Covering it from start to finish, finally seeing that POV drop when we were so hyped for that on the podcast, seeing all the photos, all of the content coming from Florida, you finally get on that bridge and see that coaster. What is it like, man? What is it like?
Well, the first thing I said to my friend Sam is, should we go hit up Hulk then? No. Oh,
and they were like,
man.
The British are here.
Unfortunately, it wasn't Sam Costello from YouTube who I was with.
Now in my head,
he did message me saying that he was considering coming out for Velociraptor, and I was like, you should have done it. Oh my god, you should have done it. But no, my friend Sam, who I worked with at Hershey Park, he was there with me when I saw just Velocicoaster across the lagoon from the first time, and he saw just the I don't usually get starstruck by basically anything, to be honest. Like I'm not that kind of person. I usually I treat everything as if it is equal in a sense. Like I never try to think that something is like above or below me as a physical being. But dude, just seeing this thing in person for the first time, it was something special. Like, first of all, that top hat looks much bigger in person than it does in photos and videos.
I got another poster to ask you about what if it looks bigger in person as well.
It does. It looks bigger in person. It does. And just watching it go around for the first few times, it looks faster in person as well. It looks faster in person because like the elements are kind of, because of the 6-car train, the elements are a bit more drawn out than you see on the likes of Maverick and Taron and Tiger and those. But once you're there in front of it, like you see how fast the train is moving. And so there was a plan in place. There was a plan in place for the first ride, because me, my friend Sloan, and another guy who I met up with on the weekend as well, called Simon, we were all making Velocicoaster our milestone.
Yeah.
So I was making it my 300th coaster. Simon was making it his 100th coaster, and Sloan was making it his 400th coaster.
Whoa!
And
like,
if any of you,
that's nothing. I've been on Rita 400 times.
The reality is, you probably have, yeah.
Carrying on.
But yeah. So a couple of days beforehand, Sloan had messaged me saying, don't make sure you make Velocicoaster your 300th coaster, because I have a plan. And I don't know if any of you guys saw the Coaster Studios footage of the dog mask ride on Voyage One Holiday Nights, like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Sloan is the guy who basically put that together.
Oh shit! Okay,
cool.
Right. So yeah, he messaged me, and I'd met Sloan at Energyland during October. He's an incredible guy. He is like, there's no one in the world like Sloan. I wish I can't wait for the day you guys eventually meet that man. Like he is something to behold.
I'm not the only one who heard that. Then
anybody hear that siren?
I heard it.
Yeah. What was that?
Will that be Derby? That by the way, Aaron.
Yeah, there's just some buildings burning, and there's like something don't worry about it. Crack on.
Those EMTs are on loop. That's what that is.
We're talking about Hagrid's.
It sounded like the big
siren. Yeah,
it actually did. It sounded identical.
Can we just check what that sounds like?
So yeah. So the plan was to basically make our milestone ride a dog mask ride. So me and Sloan were going to be on the front row. We tried to make it happen, but like there was such a massive group of us. We were going to fill an entire train. There was 24 of us ready to go.
Wow.
And
Jesus.
just one of the operators, I don't know, I can't remember how we got to what happened, but 2 other people who were waiting in the front row queue line got on the front row, and we got pushed back to the second row. And the rest of the train of us was full, but we basically got screwed out of the front row. So like the photos and video that people were planning on taking of us, me and Sloan in the front row, didn't end up happening. We were in the second row, but it did not matter. It did not matter at all. It didn't matter at all. That first ride was about as high of an emotional high I think I've ever experienced on any roller coaster. Like it was an entire blur. I can't pick out things from that first ride. Like it was. Wow.
Did you cry?
I just damn near almost did. Like, I almost did. Yeah. I mean, I almost did on first seeing the fucking thing. like let alone riding it. Yeah. So yeah, like we get off. I like just to jump forward a little bit. I didn't have a voice by the end of the weekend. Like I didn't have by the end of the weekend I didn't have a voice. I didn't have a voice for the next following on week. Like wow. I didn't have a voice until like after the next weekend from all the screaming. It was insane. But yeah, it didn't like I came off and I just had no words. I had 0 words whatsoever. It's that fucking good. It's that good. And I knew that like it took me a little while to really sum up my first thoughts. And like
I was messaging you like fuck on Twitter. I was like, wait, what? Not number 1 straight away? What's going on? Like, is this guy having
so I knew that after second, third, and fourth, and so on rides, I was going to be able to pick out things from the layout. I'd obviously have a much better idea of the nature of the ride. Sure. But that first ride just complete blur. Like obviously, and we had gone to Fun Spot Orlando the night before and gotten fucked up over there.
Mind blower. Mind blower.
Yeah.
No, that's at Kissimmee. That's at Kissimmee.
I
didn't ride that until later on in the trip. We were at Fun Spot Orlando the first night, drinking, just meeting everybody, getting on White Lightning, etc., etc. That was part of setting up Velocicoaster to be my 300th. But yeah.
How many coasters did you have to do before Velocicoaster was your 300?
So, well, it goes back to the Poland trip, because initially I was planning to make Lek my 300th, but Legendia had both of their other operating coasters closed, so I couldn't do it.
remember.
So Lek coaster ended up being my 298th, and then
you went far off.
Yeah, so what I was gonna do is go to Fun Spot Orlando the night before and ride White Lightning and just either I was that's right. I was either gonna ride one ride at Fun Spot Orlando, being White Lightning, or I was gonna ride Hagrid's before riding Velocicoaster. We chose to ride White Lightning just because I was there, and I was just like, yeah, let me get on White Lightning. Cool.
And you was on White Lightning.
Yeah, so
bit of an English joke there.
Doused his camera in White Lightning.
What is White Lightning?
Yeah, so White Lightning ended up being $299. Velocicoaster was $300.
That's how much it is.
Is it actually $299?
Probably.
It was cheaper than that when I was at school.
It's about £3 for a bottle in it or something like that.
For those of you that don't know, listening from across the pond, White Lightning over here is a very, 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 very cheap cider that you can get 2 liters for about £3 for.
And it tastes like
also
shit.
a very, 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 very shit cider. But
it tastes like paint strip.
It tastes like bad decisions.
It tastes like bad decisions.
I know that tastes very well.
That's a t-shirt.
I mean, it does.
Tastes like Skyrim Skull.
Tastes like
me whenever I have tequila. This tastes like bad decisions.
Okay, we're going off the
tangent.
So throughout like the rest of the rides, I got a front row almost rain ride with Jack from the Twisted Travelers. Shout out Jack, it was awesome meeting him. He had a thing going of just making everybody think that he wasn't going to be there for the Velociraptor event, but he ended up just turning up on everyone, and everyone was just like, "You what the fuck? Like you said you weren't coming," which was fun to actually be a part of. But
awesome.
So we had a front row ride. That was the first front row ride that I got, and everything hit me then. Like, oh my god, like all the elements hit me like a ton of bricks. That Mosasaurus roll is fucked. That Mosasaurus, and we'll get into it, but like that's the best inversion I have ever experienced on a roller coaster. I'm saying it with my entire chest. I'm saying it with my entire chest. That's the best inversion I've ever, and we'll get into it, but yeah, like that was insane. Who else did I ride with that first day? Got back row at night was an out of body experience. And so it's front. To this day I still don't know if I prefer the front or the back row. They're both that good, and they're both strong at different points in the ride.
Sure.
Like, Luke, once you get out of there, you're gonna see it. But like, just like, I love coasters like this because like they have different parts. They have like certain parts of the ride are stronger in the front row, and certain different parts are stronger in the back row. So you can't decide which point, like which
you can't lose.
Yeah. You can't lose. You can't decide which point of the train that you like the most, because it's like you get off the front and it's like, oh, let me try a back because the front was so good that you've forgotten about the back. Then you ride in the back and it's like, oh shit, I need to go ride the front because the back was so good. I've forgotten what the front's like.
I bet that's
what goes to the best of both worlds.
Honestly, you get the best of both. You get the best of both worlds. So okay, all right. Let's just go through the layout. Or at least my favorite parts of it. The Immelman right after the first launch is best in the back row because
more whip.
It literally whips you over like and drags you downward, and it's like a pop of ejector out of it. It's like Icon's Immelman in the back row.
Nice.
But yeah, just like got a bit more aggression to it. And and because of where the rocks are, like you're going down this way, the rock face is here. You feel like the rock face is going to take your head clean fucking off. Like, you feel like, okay, this is game over for me. I'm getting impaled on this fucking rock work. And then, like, you come out of there, you're slammed with positives in the valley between the Immelman and the dive loop. In the back row, the dive loop, you float all the way through it before getting dragged down. In the front row, it's a pop of, like, serious ejector at the top as well, and laps going from one side to the other. It's an insane thing. It's an insane little nuance about this coaster. Like, it has, like, it's not focused on airtime, but it has moments of, you know, floater and ejector airtime, but like they're combined with something. They're combined with lats a lot of the time. Yeah. So like you feel airtime. So like you're coming up out of your seat, but then you're also being dragged either left or right. It's mental. It's such a well-engineered and well-designed coaster for the force and sensations that you have for it. So yeah, you come out of the dive loop. Like the dive loop's so much fun. The entire first half is so much fun, and a few of us came to the like agreement while we were there. Like the first half rides like Icon's second half.
I said that to you, that it would be close to that because of how it. Yeah. I said that to you a while ago. In fact, I think I said that to you in the Icon queue.
You might have. I apologize. I can't remember, but you might have done, and you were bang on. If you did say that, you were bang on. It literally rides the same as Icon's second half. It's so varied in its forces and sensations and elements and the changes of direction and everything.
Sure.
Couple that with all of the raptor paddock theming, the fucking raptors themselves in there.
Yeah.
That looks sick, does that?
As you fly past the raptors, you hear the sound of them screeching at you. There's no onboard audio on the train, but it's it doesn't need it because you can hear the raptors screech. You can hear the raptors screeching at you. There's ambient sound in the raptor paddock, so it's all playing into your experience in that way. It's really cleverly done. But yeah, that first half is just so much fun. It's so much fun. It's so varied, so many different forces.
Getting excited.
And yeah,
not surprised.
I can't wait for you to ride it. There's one airtime hill in there after sort of middle way through the first half, which just it goes over the first launch and then just yanks you back down. It's like it when it's running fast, because oh god, some of the rides we got fucking hauled it from start to finish. But when it goes over that airtime hill, it's serious ejector. It's serious ejector. It's not going so fast, but the way the hill is profiled, you get just pulled down like something stupid. Yeah. And there are tons of points in there where you'll get whippy lats or airtime where you wouldn't expect to get airtime, and just really a lot of moments where you don't expect to feel something that you end up feeling, and it's you gotta get a few rides on it to I fucking did during the time I was there. For anyone listening on the podcast, that's Ben saying, I feel like he feels like I'm gonna give us happy tears.
Happy tears.
So you come out of that first half, and anybody that's ridden Taron, and I wish Sean was here. It sucks that Sean's not here because Sean's ridden Taron, so he knows how that second launch feels. Velocicoaster's launch is just the same. It's exactly the same. It's just all the sense of speed. The launch is in a trench, so you got the walls right next to you, so you feel like you're going faster than you actually are, even though you hit fucking 70 miles per hour down it.
Very clever.
It's loud. You can hear the LSMs whirring. Everyone's screaming. There's lights there's red lights everywhere. It's so sick. It's so good. It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you come out of the first launch. You shoot up the top hat. The top so you get a stupid pop of ejector in the front row, going up into the top hat. In the back row, you float over the top, and then the ejector hits you when you go down. So depending on what you want, if you want to fly out of the train, as you go up, or if you want to fly out of the train as you go down, you might prefer the front or the back. But I love both. I can't decide which one I like both. This is what I'm saying. And then after that, it's just balls to the wall speed. You want to talk about balls to the wall speed, from that point onwards. People had said about the stall that it goes through so quick that you don't really get the feeling of hanging there too much. And I kind of see that because comparing it to Zadra's stall, which is the only other stall I've done.
Yeah.
Zadra's stall is really long. Like you're hanging there for a good few seconds.
Yeah.
Velocicoaster's stall isn't anywhere close to that long. But the sense of speed through it makes it different in nature. So like it's not as to me anyway, this is just my opinion. It's not as black and white as saying it's not as good a stall because you're not there for as long. It's just different in nature because there's a sense of speed through it. There's a heightened sense of speed through it. So that's
Does it whip
cool.
into it?
Yeah, yes. Yeah. It whips into it and it whips out of it. And like because of how open the trains are, because of how high up the height line on the trains are, like you get whipped from right to left, and while you're upside down, you're trying to like get your center of gravity right, so like your body's going the other direction, and once like in the middle of trying to do that, you're getting whipped out of it again, so you're getting whipped the other way again. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I like that you're actually really doing the whip.
Yeah.
The name.
And that's all you get. You're not getting no nays out of me. That's all I'm giving you. But yeah, like so. I mean, after that, you've got the wave turn in the helix. The turns in the helix all feel super fast. You got the wave turn in the helix. You got the tip out in the helix as well. Like they're really fun, like little moments of airtime. And again, like with the wave turn, you're on your side, like you're being ejected out of the train on your side. So you're getting thrown out of the train and then pulled back on your side. It's just a weird feeling. And then with the tip out, you got the ejector, and then like lats going from left to right, and that's what I'm saying. Like the airtime moments all come with something else to couple the feeling of
airtime.
It's not just airtime. It's most of the time it's some form of lats in there as well. It's so much fun, so much fun. Circle round again. You hit the overbank. The overbank's really cool. Whip over the bridge one more time, and then like the speed hill before the roll. It's relatively speaking one of the weaker moments on the ride. It's still fun because you still get a pop of floater airtime in it, but like relatively speaking compared to everything else, it's a little it's a little bit weaker compared to everything else. But yeah, it sets you up for just the fucking batshittery that is this role, right? And like, I mean, I'm like, I'll explain. So like. The height of the heartline on the train has so much to do with this roll because the roll doesn't rotate around the heartline. This is why this roll's so fucked. Like the roll doesn't roll around the heartline of the train. No. It doesn't roll around your heartline, the rider's heartline. It rolls around the center line of the train. So when you're upside down, your heartline is underneath the roll point, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So, and what the result of that is just this disgusting pop of ejector while you're upside down.
Disgusting.
Do you feel like you're getting straight down into the water then?
Literally, it is the first. It's the first time. I can't remember a time where I've done an inversion that genuinely made me feel like the ride is trying to
throw you out,
fling me out of the train in an inversion. I don't know about you guys. I've never felt ejector airtime while I'm upside down before. Like,
I feel like all of this is by design, though, as if you are in the mouth of a raptor trying to kill you.
Basically,
the raptors are actually tiny.
And like I mean, it's all by design. it makes me think like it's the fucking, it is like a massive middle finger to see the point for Intamin taking out the role on Maverick. I
was going to bring that up.
That's exactly what I would have imagined that to be honest with you. Is that sort of essence.
They got it kind of wrong. They perfected it on. They got it kind of wrong on Maverick. They perfected it on.
Yeah, it was very flat on Maverick, wasn't it? I mean, even the profiling of this role, I've questioned the profiling of this role for months. Like since seeing it, I was like, that looks weird. That looks like it's gonna do some shit that like nothing else has, because it's weirdly offset to how the train goes through it. That's probably the only way I can say it. Like you described it. So yeah, it's like it's weird. It's like it goes and then it curves in on itself. So with it curving in on itself, it's gonna feel like you tip out. But to hear it from you,
and I mean, you can kind of see it. Like you can kind of see it off ride as well.
You can see it in the stills as well. Like people are hanging out of that train. Like
there's a picture that I just found of. Like just some people and these girls' hair is just flying, flying away, and it's just like
I don't have that problem.
Yeah,
same.
Don't worry, you have your beard flying about long if you wait long enough. But yeah, like that role's fucked in the best way possible, in the absolute best way possible. It's my favorite inversion that I've ever done. Like if you lean to one side before going into it, you sort of again, force your body through it as the train's rolling, like your body's just flailing about in every direction. It's fucked, man.
Nice,
so good, so good. So yeah, you would think like after that, you would think the ride's over. Nah, bro.
Nah,
it's not done yet. It's not done yet.
I've seen how that thing hits the brake. Like, nope.
Yeah, like there's still the next two airtime moments after that roll are probably more aggressive than, not including the roll, probably more aggressive than anything else in the second half. Like you hit an S bend, you hit an S hill, which is, again, if you've ridden Taron, when it goes through its first tunnel, and like on exit of the tunnel, it flings you from left to right. This does the same thing from right to left, but with a pop-up ejector in the middle of it as well. And so that's nuts. And then the little hop up into the brakes, like you crash into the brakes, like you're out of your seat when you hit the brakes. It's not quite as bludgeoning as Zadra is, but like it's crazy. Like just the positioning that you're in when you hit the brakes. It's one of the most bonkers finales to a coaster I've ever done.
Nice.
It's fucking crazy. And yeah, so like Luke, you had said something about you saw my initial reaction and was like, "What? It's not his number one yet."
Yeah, because you're usually pretty on.
I saw it as well. Yeah,
you're usually like when you came off Zadra, you was like, "We've got a new number one, boys." Like exact words, like exact words.
Yeah. So
and we all said the same thing.
This is the sort of dilemma I faced when I came off of it. Just to preface what I'm about to say, I had a bet with Jack. That he proposed a bet to me. It's on my Twitter. If you've seen it, you've seen it. If not, then yeah, I had a bet with Jack that Zadra would be my number one coaster for less than a month.
Oh.
To conclude, I owed Jack $5.
Yeah, I've just seen
that was the bet.
$5 as Zadra's time at the topic list of less than a month. I'll take that action.
Yes.
So to conclude, is PayPal good for you?
Yep. Yep. I owed Jack $5 after the rides that I had on it. owe Jack $5. Velocicoaster is my new #1 coaster.
Hey, there you go.
But it didn't become my #1 straight away.
Yeah,
no,
because and the reason for that is because so like it's not as blisteringly intense and powerful and aggressive as something like a Zadra, a Sky Rush, an Intimidator 305, a Steel Vengeance, in terms of, you know, just the sheer volume of airtime moments it has and all of that. It's not quite that. So like Zadra is the more aggressive coaster, albeit not by much, but right. it is the more aggressive coaster. But Velocicoaster does, and I when I say everything else, literally everything else, like it's not even a concept. Velocicoaster does everything else so much better, so much better. It's leagues better themed. There's more of a build up in the entire experience from the moment you get into the queue line. The queue line is just building the experience up all the way until you're sat in that pre-first launch showroom.
Yeah,
building up. It's story driven. It's better presented. It's so much smarter in its little details, like theming wise and landscaping wise. It, in terms of an overall thrill coaster package, Velocicoaster is the most Velocicoaster is the most well executed themed thrill coaster I've ever seen anywhere.
Amazing. That's so cool.
Like
awesome.
That's what we want.
That's yeah. It's everything I've ever wanted in a coaster. Like I like Black Mamba and Taron set the precedent for, and like things like Nemesis as well set the precedent for, like, you know, well themed, well landscaped, you know, thrill coasters. Velocicoaster improves on all of them with just how smart the details are. There's so many tiny little details. I don't know if I want to spoil the queue line for anyone who's going out there.
No,
like,
I think the queue line is.
The queue line is probably the only bit I don't need spoiling.
Right. Yeah. So like without saying too much about the queue line, oh my god, there are some things in there you're gonna love. But without saying too much, like there are so many little details in the entire experience that just complement the ride so much. The ride already looks like it's been there for years. It fits in so well with everything in the Jurassic Park area of Islands of Adventure, which is crazy when you think about it. Like you know, like the imagery that you if Jeff Goldblum on the soundtrack scene.
Can you confirm or deny if that happens?
I can neither confirm nor deny that because I don't want to spoil it.
Are we explaining
now I'm expecting it.
Are we explaining what that was for people listening?
Life finds a way.
It's just Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum is in the pre-show.
Yeah. So where was I now? Lost my train of thought now.
Jeff Goldblum.
Oh yeah. So like yeah, like when you think of the imagery of Jurassic World, it kind of clashes with the imagery of Jurassic Park, and that's always been people's complaint about combining the two in one area, right?
Yeah.
There's no clash. There's no clash whatsoever on either side, whether you're standing in the entrance plaza or around at the other side by the Raptor paddock near to Jurassic River Adventures entrances. There's no clash. It's a seamless transition between the two. They've like G Prodigy, Greg Hall, Shelby Honey, and the rest of the Universal Creative team. Like I've never seen a team get every single detail so right with a themed attraction before, with a thrill coaster attraction.
That's what's been like. 'Cause we're seeing that from across the pond, right? Before we even think about getting there or how we're going to get there. And we're looking at that ride and we're thinking, this is just world class. Like, how is anyone gonna beat this? It's just
like, literally, I was expecting top 10.
I don't even know how Universal are gonna fucking beat this. Like, I just...
right, like
literally like Pete.
It's since like they literally keep setting the bar for themselves higher and higher. They did it once with Hagrid's, and they've done it again with fucking Velocicoaster. And like I went in expecting top 10. I went in expecting top 10, and after my first ride, I said top 5. After my first couple of rides, I said top 5, and it just kept upping. It just kept upping the level after every ride. After one particular ride, I was like, is it better than Lightning Rod? Is it better than Lightning Rod? And I was like, oh yeah. And then I'd ride again. I was like, oh yeah, it's better than Lightning Rod. Oh yeah, it's better than Lightning Rod. And yeah, just like all of those things, like Lightning Rod opened my eyes to what I prefer in coasters in terms of speed and sense of aggression and, you know, purposefulness in airtime and stuff.
Execution on them.
On those things. Purposeful execution. Not just airtime for the sake of airtime, because that's stupid. But, you know, purposeful like airtime within something else as well. Velocicoaster opened my eyes again. And to something I really already knew. I am a theme park enthusiast. I'm a theme attraction enthusiast as much as I am a coaster enthusiast. Yeah. And top 10 doesn't really reflect that too well, because I have a lot of coasters in there that are obviously world-leading coaster experiences, but they aren't the most themed things in the world. This combines both worlds. It's one of the best coasters I've done, just coasters in general. But it also combines world-class and really smart theming and presentation as well. And
I think it's about as definitive as a themed attraction as you can actually really get, isn't it? From sort of looking at what I've seen, not only if obviously, you know, I've not been out there, but obviously seen everything and obviously listening to what you said as well. It encapsulates everything into one attraction.
So, question: can we get one at Thorpe Park?
Yeah, well, do you know what? If Thorpe wants to go build that, I won't be mad at
it. They've said world-class coaster.
Yeah, but Mikhail's got the bar pretty damn high there for world-class coasters.
They can beat it. They can beat it.
Freak coaster.
I
know what will be
no. My expectations for whatever ends up being at Thorpe aren't even close to that high. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But,
what if
they have a lagoon?
They do have a
lagoon that smells.
It's more like a swamp, to be fair. But
yeah, swamp. Yeah. Florida's built on swamp, so
yeah, but I don't think
exactly the same.
Smells like that.
I mean, yeah. What else can I say about it? So, like, I didn't know it was my number one until the following week. Oh, first of all, let me sum up the Velociraptor weekend. That was incredible. Meeting everybody there. That was so good. They are such cool people.
Oh, Isaac, don't even start from it. Go back and listen to Mikhile. Like, you've got to hear about it. don't even just go to the start.
What's up, Isaac? Okay, all right. It's a good thing Isaac's here, because we have some shit to talk about. Like, at some point, we'll get to it in a little bit. With just we'll get to it. I have a word. I need to have a word with you.
You're in trouble.
Yeah. Velociraptor was everything I wanted it to be. We had 2 nights of tailgating and drinking at the 2 Fun Spot parks, Fun Spot Orlando and Fun Spot Kissimmee. Those were so much fun. Joe, you'll love this. I got to at the Fun Spot Kissimmee tailgate. I got to introduce everybody to Northern Monk Brewing.
Nice.
I took over a 6-pack of Northern Monk beers, and 2 of them were the Shaun of the Death, the Strawberry Cornetto Stout.
Two of the best.
They fucking loved that shit. that was awesome. That was so cool. Especially someone like I've not been drinking craft beers for that long. At all. Like these guys have basically developed their own fucking brand off that shit. And just to see those guys, you know, try it and then just be like, holy shit, this is amazing.
It's out there, like at least the British can get something though, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got the beer right, so yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron's face, there was a picture.
Yeah.
Well, I want to know, is it Kissimmee? Did you go to the scare attraction there? Probably not.
No, I didn't. So at Fun Spot Kissimmee, I didn't actually ride anything that night because I was just drinking with everybody, and like I hadn't realized that we hadn't actually got into the park yet until it was like really late in the night, and I was just like, we could have gone, but I was just like, yo, this is a vibe right now. Like I'm having so much fun just drinking with these people. I don't really care about riding anything. So you didn't end up riding anything. We went back to Fun Spot later on in the trip and rode Mind Blower and the Sky Coaster with Alison. Rode the Sky Coaster together. That was cute. But yeah, that night, Alison and her husband Stephen had brought down a beer from Atlanta. Well, a few beers from Atlanta from a brewery called Pontoon Brewing Company. Ooh. And I remember just taking like a couple sips off of one of them, and they are all sours. Well, all the ones that I tried was sours, and I just took a few sips off of a few of them. I was just like, yeah, okay, I'm coming to visit you guys in Atlanta, and you're taking me to this fucking brewery because this is amazing. So shout out to Alison and Stephen for introducing me to Pontoon Brewing. I will be making a visit there.
I'm going to be seeking that one out now, see if I can find any over here, just to give it a try.
Yeah, we need to go on a search, see if we can.
Yeah,
get
we definitely do. That needs to be done.
Yeah, I don't know if we can or not, but we'll have a look.
Oh, it's got to be a way. Where does the world?
They'll have it in spoons in American Week.
Could you imagine?
You know they will.
That'd be funny. But yeah, no. Also, so I mentioned that Sloan was like, there's no one in the world like Sloan. On the first Friday night, we're all in the car park, just like drinking and tailgating and stuff. Oh, Luke, I'm glad you're back for this because this is a fucking story. So like we're all in the we're all in the car park drinking, meeting up, getting to know each other and stuff. Sloan comes a bit late, but I don't know if you've seen the video that Drunk Riders put on like social media. You know, back when it happened, like closer to when it happened. Sloan turned up on the back of a pickup truck, dressed like a Spartan, with 300. I'm not done. With the 300 soundtrack playing, blaring out of the truck. This man put like him and his fiancée Sarah. Sarah's awesome. I love Sarah. They pull up in the car park. This man starts shouting and just being and just like, you know, like Gerard Butler in 300, like, this is where we drink. It was amazing.
I'm now searching
it was
for this video.
Amazing, absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
not even to forget to mention, there was a pallet of 300 false idol beers in the back of this truck. Taking what I just said, there was a pallet of 300 false idol beers.
I like the attention to detail on this. This was good.
Yeah, that's great.
I have to. It was a vivid experience. I gotta make it as vivid as possible.
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen the picture of the car park, but I can't find the video.
Yeah. Yeah. False Idol Brewing Company. Incredible it lived up to the hype. False Idol Brewing Company. This is the beer that, for anyone who listens to the Drunk Riders podcast, this is the beer that Mike from the Drunk Riders has been just jizzing himself over for the past like however long now, but for good reason, because that shit's good as fuck. I didn't. So the beer that they had on the palate was a Hefeweiser, which is kind of like a weed beer. Like it's a beer that a lot of stoners like to drink. I didn't really like it. Took some time to get to grow on me a little bit, but once it did, I was like, "Yo, right, I need to try even more, like even more False Idol, because that was great. Like it took me a minute, but I got there. But yeah, like these guys are a ton of fun. We had plenty meetups when we were in the studios parks, when we were in the Universal parks. We had plenty meetups, plenty takeovers. We took over, we took over the water rides on Saturday, and me, my friend Sam, whose apartment I stayed at in the first week. Shout out to my friend Sam, me, Sam, and a couple others of us. We went on Dudley Do Right's Ripsaw Falls. We did that. Did we? I can't remember if we did that once or twice. I think we did it twice. We might have just done it once. So that was super fun. I fucking love Dudley's. Like that's tied with Chapas for my favorite log flume ride. So we come off that. We're obviously wet from it. We think naturally, the natural progression at Islands of Adventure is to go to Popeyes. Like that's just how you do it. You start with Dudley's. You progress to Popeyes. Popeyes is the best rapids I've ever done. I will die on that hill. It's the best rapids. It's the best rapids. So we do that. We do it twice, because it's like we do it once. It's like we're already fucking wet through. Might as well do it again. Yeah.
Again.
Exactly. So we do it again. Right. We get off. We're walking out the exit. It's just stupid wet through. We see another group of us coming across the bridge to go get on Popeyes, and we bump into them, and it's like, might as well hop on it again. So we hop on it for a third time. And there's no wait. There's no line. There's nobody gonna replace us in the boat.
Oh no.
So the operator's just like, you want to stay on? We all look at each other like, yeah, right.
3 times. You might as well stay on.
It was the stupidest thing ever, but it was so much fun. I just remember me and a guy I met out there, John Mike. He's an awesome guy as well. I remember like he'd never done Popeyes before. So I just remember the first rapids that hit him, me and him just looking at each other like just looking at him, just oh my god, that was funny as hell. I love riding Popeyes with people who have never ridden it before.
Yeah. But they've ridden over rapids. Yeah.
They've ridden over rapids. They ain't ridden rapids like Popeyes.
No. It looks insane.
It's fucking incredible. It's insane. Yeah. Fucking Ben's in the chat. I can't wait to try Popeye's chicken, let alone the rapids. Yeah. Everybody gangster until Popeye's lift hill. That's a fact. Until Popeye's drop. It's Popeye's lift hill. Oh my god. I love Popeyes with all my heart, man. Popeye is amazing. What else can I say? Hulk. Okay, so Incredible Hulk. I don't know what Hulk ride people are riding. Hulk is just as good as I've always remembered, right? Like I prefer it to Hulk. I prefer it to Kumba even. I prefer Hulk to Hulk. Lol. I prefer it to Kumba. I'm even more cemented in that opinion now. I love Kumba, but I prefer Hulk. like first 2/3 of the ride on Hulk is strong enough to make up for the sort of lackluster finish.
Yeah,
like the first 2/3 of that ride are so strong, so intense. It's not my favorite ride in the park anymore for obvious reasons, but I love Hulk. Yeah, Hagrid's mate. Hagrid's. But yeah,
we're gonna need another
Hulk
podcast.
Hulk is awesome throughout. Yeah, Hagrid's is so much fun. I was even a little bit. I expected it to be really fun. I wasn't. I can't remember if I had like set expectations for it, but I was even a little bit surprised at how much fun I had on it. It was really good, really, really fucking good. The night ride, if you're able to get a front row on the night ride,
I'll be doing that.
Like,
don't worry about
it. Make sure you do that shit, because it's, oh my god, like when you've only got like the little bit of track in front of you lit up by the headlights on the bike, and nothing else, there's no other light in the area. Mate, different story. It's so good. So good. It like I love Islands of Adventure so much. Like it's such a special park. It's my second favorite park that I've ever been to, behind Silver Dollar City, which I tried to rank objectively. I've taken Busch Gardens Williamsburg out of my rankings because I just can't rank it objectively, like to the point where I can rank it fairly, because I have such a connection to that park that I can't rank it fairly amongst other parks. But like it's definitely somewhere in my top 3 for sure. But Silver Dollar City, Islands of Adventure, and Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Like it was incredible. Incredible weekend. Shout out to everyone who was involved in that.
Nice.
What else did I get up to that weekend? IAPA.
We might leave that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we can leave that.
Talk about IAPA.
We'll leave that. Yeah.
Don't forget about your one ride on Spidey, apparently.
Oh, right. Yeah. So,
what was that? What did you say?
In the chat.
You talking about the one really glitchy ride I happened to get on Amazing Spider-Man? Is that what you're talking about?
I've just seen it in the chat, so I guess so.
Yeah.
Don't forget about the one ride on Spidey. Yeah. There you go.
Oh yes, yeah, of course. So like so we it was so weird. Like it was going fine, and then just out of nowhere, the screen just starts glitching, and I think I can't remember how it went. A guy I met got the entire thing on video, but it just started glitching out. I've never seen it on a dark ride before. The screen started glitching out, and then the audio was just hilariously out of sync. We get round to the final few scenes, and
Darren Brown's Ghost Train.
Nothing was in sync whatsoever, and we were just looking at each other like, what the fuck is going on?
It's Venom. Run.
It was so trippy. Me and like all of us were just looking at each other like, yo, this is the trippiest thing on the planet.
Yeah, is this that beer with the breeding? My spider
like
senses are tingling.
We almost wanted to try and go around again, see if it had happened again.
Yeah, but it was closed.
It just tripped itself the entire way out. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. It was amazing. Yeah, like I don't think I'll be able to touch on everything in this 2 weeks.
We'll save a bit for when Sean's here, because I know Sean will have a
because there's some Disney stuff that we can discuss as well, because I did manage to get out to a few of the Disney parks while I was out there.
Did you go Galaxy?
So we could. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we'll leave.
We'll touch on that. I have some things to say. So we'll
okay, cool.
leave that for when Sean's here. Because
okay, can I ask you a question now? Then
go for it.
Okay, how fucking insane does Iron look in person?
Oh, mate.
Because you went bush. So
yeah. So it like I've coming up on it, like walking up on it and seeing it in person, I had the same feeling as I did the first time I walked up on Zadra. It's the same kind of.
That's going to be my first RMC, by the way, guys.
That's fucking huge.
Jesus. Yeah,
it looks
going to be my first RMC.
Huge in person.
Look forward to hearing about that.
Yeah.
Did you see it go around? Was it testing at all when you were there?
No, they didn't test it. Honestly, like I will say, like I was just happy to be back at Busch Gardens, Tampa.
Sure.
So I didn't spend that much time, just looking at Gwazi. Only when I was just like walking past it to get to something else. Oh, what's up, Craig? What's up, Craig?
Nice. Hey, Craig.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I didn't spend much time at all really looking at it, but when I was walking past it, and obviously I would see it like at times and just kind of be reminded, like, oh yeah, that is over there, isn't it? And it's fucking massive. It is massive in person.
Do you see it off Sheikra at all?
So funny story. I didn't actually ride Sheikra when I was there.
Okay.
So we happened to, because it turned out that like just the time that we went was basically the day after Thanksgiving, and it was rammed. Sheikra was on a stupid wait all day. Like I actually had some credits to clean up, and I actually got a good +3 over there. But we did that in, like, first thing in the morning, when like before the crowds had reached like all the way around the park and stuff. And because it was a late opening, Busch Gardens Tampa is a much more localized park than the Orlando parks are. So they get more periodic local crowds.
40 minutes away, isn't it? Something like that.
Oh, it's more like an hour and a bit. It's a fair bit away from an hour and a bit drive is not much at all. But like it's far enough out. It's far enough away from Orlando for them to really benefit from the local Tampa Bay crowds.
Sure.
So like they'll get especially on late nights, like the park was open until 10 p.m. They'll get crowds coming in late, like early afternoon. And then they'll get like the evening crowd come in and stuff. So like it wasn't too busy at like first thing in the morning, but throughout as the day went on, it just got busier and busier. So in retrospect, I should have gone Sheikra first. But
yeah, I was gonna say, would you say go on Sheikra first for me then when I get to Busch? Like, because I've got a day at Busch, that's it.
Just one day.
I mean, it's like I mean, you could say that, but it again, like it was.
Mind you, I'm not going on Thanksgiving, but I am
exactly.
Going in June.
Like we went the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So like, when are you going again? In June?
June/July.
June/July. So like, you might not get the rush of the international crowds coming in, like, for summer holiday and stuff. So you might be okay. You might be okay to just hit whatever. But if it is busy, I'd recommend. First of all, I'd probably recommend going to the back of the park first. Go to Kumba first, and then hit Sheikra, because everybody's going to be going to like Montu, and especially like everyone's going to be going to Iron Gwazi.
I know Danielle isn't going to ride Iron Gwazi, so it's like that is not happening.
What about Velocicoaster?
Yeah, I think she's. Yeah, I think she'll go on.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I've got faith.
Good. And Hagrid.
I have faith.
Definitely. You don't have to go on anything like you don't want to do. Like we've already said this, but I will be riding everything.
Yeah, as you should. But yeah, I got. Well, after like the early afternoon, like 1 p.m., like everything was slammed. So like we got the rides we got were sparing, but.
I followed you through that escapade, like with Cobra's Curse. Like, I followed you through that. I picked up your socials on that one. I was like, what the heck's going on?
Yeah, I'm Alison's good luck charm when it comes to credits, apparently, because she only managed to get on Cobra's Curse when I was there. So, like, I'm just saying, like she had missed out on it a bunch of times, but all of a sudden I appear in the group, and what happened. So, I mean, like, I can't say. All I'm doing is recalling what happened. Is recalling the truth. I'm not stating anything out.
You're the good luck charm, and Joe is the front row.
Front row god.
God, legit.
But no, like on a like. Yeah, like Cobra's Curse is one of those that just gets stupid lines because it's a ride. Like it's like Cheetah Hunt in the sense that everyone, like all the families love that ride, and like everyone who's just with a group of friends loves getting on that just for a bit of fun. So like it gets stupid cues, cue lines. So that's also an idea to maybe hit that first. Or like depending on what time you get there. If you get there at rope drop, if you get there at like bang on park open, and you're one of the first people through the gates and everything, get over there, get that credit, and then maybe head to the back of the park after that.
But, so Montu, my favorite invert.
Montu's my favorite invert. Don't talk to me about nothing else yet. Like I don't want to hear about no Katon. I don't want to hear about no Black Mamba. I love Nemesis, but I don't want to hear about no Nemesis. Like Montu is the best invert in the world. I do not like. I will. You cannot convince me otherwise. It's the best invert. Right?
Better than Inferno, yeah.
Yes, by a considerable margin.
Reach is better than Inferno.
The only
Reach is better than anything, mate. Moving on.
But the only invert I see like posing a threat to Montu is Pyrenees out in Japan. If any of you guys have seen a POV of that thing, that shit looks punchy as all hell. Like it looks so it looks intense in the same vein that Montu is. And the only reason I feel like I would prefer Montu is because Montu has a more interesting second half. Pyrenees kind of looks like the sort of like the level of just like the discrepancy between the first half and the second half may be a bit more than the discrepancy between Montu's first and second half. But like Pyrenees looks insane. Like, but Montu is just so good. I fucking love Montu so much. That was the first time I got night rides on it as well. And oh my god, it slapped.
What are them tunnels like? What are them trenches like? Do you even see them coming at night?
Nah. So like,
I was gonna say you probably don't.
This is what I'm saying. Like, it combines the best of both worlds because it is 150 feet tall. Like, it has the sense of speed and the massive inversions, like the same sort of in the same vein as like Alpengeist and Afterburn and other bigger inverts like that. But then it gets low to the ground. It gets low to the ground. It gets in the trenches like Nemesis does. Like
but with the same speed, right?
It has the whippiness and the Titan versions of a Nemesis, of a Black Mamba, of Osiris at Park Asterix, of something like that as well. It combines best of both worlds, and it does it so well. And it's stupidly smooth, considering it's a 25-year-old coaster. It's still running as if it's like 2 or 3 years old. Wow. I don't like they do something right at Bush Tampa. Like
Can we have a few maintenance come over here, please?
They take
do an exchange.
Pablo.
It's
Pablo over here.
It's incredible. It's incredible, man.
Pablo is there. He lives
best. It's best invert.
Just out road.
John Wadley has left the chat.
I just saw that.
User has left your channel.
That's beautiful.
What a ride! Wow.
Yeah, Isaac's the Batwing on Montu. The Batwing is just insane. Oh, I can't wait.
Even imagine a Batwing on an inverted coaster.
Right. Right.
Yeah. I can't even imagine it.
This makes no sense, but it's like if you turned a Cobra Roll inside out.
Yeah.
Like it's whippy as you get into it, and then like it's just pure aggressive positive.
But it's like the way Nemesis does its first inversion. Like it climbs into it and whips you through. I feel like on this Batwing, it's going to climb, whip, whoom, hold, whip, back out, and then
that's basically what it is. That's basically what it is. It's intense as fuck. I can't wait for you to ride that.
Yeah, I'm so right. Man, I'm gonna need 17 more SD cards than what I've got right now.
You're going to be coming back with probably the most content from any trip you've ever had from that place.
Oh, for sure. That's the idea.
Park alone.
That's not even for one channel.
How long are you going out there for? You going for 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
You going for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's not even going to be close. Like you're going to have.
My first ride in Florida is going to be Velocicoaster at night. I've already made that choice.
Yeah, it's got to be done.
On the first night, that is it.
Do it.
Like
you have to do it.
Yeah. And I don't know where to sit now. Can you queue for front row? On
middle.
You can queue for front row. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm doing then.
And
there it is.
There's another thing. It's another thing about Velocicoaster as well. Just how well executed it is. You can request. They take row requests. Apart from times where it's super busy and they're trying to like chew through the line. They got 4
that thing is a
going and
throughput machine. That is a throughput machine,
dude. Like my god. First of all, can we just talk about like the size of the Velocicoaster crew? Like that crew is easily over like 70 crew members, right? Like it's a massive crew, and like with the locker system in place as well. With the amount of team members they have, just basically guiding you to where you need to be and like guiding you through the metal detectors and all of that. You see how big the crew is for them to have this many crew members just to carry out the logistics of the locker system. Not even on platform. Like they have 4 team members on platform, and then like another team member grouping, and another team member accommodating disabled accessibility guests, tours, stuff like that. They haven't even introduced Express Pass to Velocicoaster yet, and like that's going to be a feat in itself. Seeing how they do that.
Extra 10 crew members, probably.
Yeah, bro, the crew's massive, and like you can request to go front row if you want, and they'll just have you stand in the front row line. The speed at which trains are unloaded and loaded and dispatched in there, like the front row line doesn't take long to get through it all. Here's how. I've gone back to Velocicoaster again, but here's
this is that was going to happen.
Right? No. Listen to me though. This is the perfect example of how quick things are done on Velocicoaster. Right? We were waiting for me and a friend were waiting for front row. We were like, they had an empty train, like in front of us. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the switch track behind the train just switch, and the train just sails backwards. The train just sails backwards into the maintenance shed. They took a train off in the space of about 45 seconds. They didn't even shut the ride down.
What?
They didn't shut the ride down. You see the train just go backwards. The switch track switches back. The next train comes through, full of riders. They get off. We get on the next train. They didn't even shut the ride down. Are you fucking kidding? Like I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, that is the most efficient thing I've ever seen on a coaster.
That's like an absolute fine art.
That is, it was like, but they were testing that ride for so long, so
they
paid off like big time.
Whoever designed that bit was just sitting back and like,
insane.
I did that,
and I saw them do it with putting a train on as well, and then like they would just the ride ops would just put the restraints down, send that train cycles. They just carry on. They don't shut down the ride to transfer trains. That's how quickly they do it.
Crazy.
Insane. I'd never seen that on a coaster before.
And that's coming from an operator as well with experience. So that
right.
speaks volumes.
Like you can see that they wanted to get everything bang on operationally when it comes to Velocicoaster as well. And yeah, it's a
they're running it like the best coaster in the world, right?
Yeah, it's like an apex coaster for operation.
They're running it like a coaster that took less than 2 months to get 1 million riders through it.
Wow.
That's
how many trains altogether?
There's five altogether. They only run 4, but they have 1 in maintenance at all times.
They've always got a spare on the back.
Yeah, they've always got a spare one in the maintenance shed ready to go if they need to take one off.
Just in case, mate.
Yeah, just in case. Like if in those occasions, which obviously happen at a park like Islands of Adventure, when the park is slammed and there's something that they can't go off of 4 trains.
No.
But they need to take off a train for whatever reason. They have one ready to go, and then they can just carry on. That in itself isn't a far-fetched thing. Like Bush do that with Montu as well. Montu has 4 trains, or did at one time. I don't know if they still do, but
one got stripped down, did it?
Maybe. I can't.
I seen something during lockdown. Like they did something. I can't remember. Correct us in the chat. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
So we've talked about America. And your trip sounds amazing. Big shout out to all the Drunk Riders crew, the Buzz Bar crew, and everyone. Big shout out to you guys. Thank you for everyone tuning in tonight as well. I know we're starting now at 8 o'clock, by the way, every week. That's what we're doing. So Aaron can be on the show as well. You didn't even mention Aaron's.
It's my fault.
It's all your fault, Aaron.
I'm like a bad smell. I can never go away. It's my fault. All right, just say it.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah. Oh, I was just gonna say, just Fahrenheit fan. That's 97 in the chat. That's one of my friends from over there as well. Yeah, it puts more people through.
That's Sam, right?
Yeah, it puts through more people just than it manages to put through more people than Hagrid's. It's crazy. Hagrid's only has 14 riders per train, and like with their obviously with how they operate versus how Velocicoaster operates, like Velocicoaster put in through almost twice as many riders per train, and with the amount of people, like the speed at which they did. Yeah, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
It does say, yeah.
Yep.
Hagrid's does say when to press it, but like there's so much going on. Sometimes you can't catch it, and I just happened to just
Street Fighter that bitch.
Boost.
Yeah, but yeah,
back.
Incredible.
All right, I'm going to count down from 10 in the chat. I want to know what you think Thorpe are going to build. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chat go insane. Comments go insane. Mikhile, what do you think? Because you've had I've spoken to people about this, but like, actually, you know what? Let's start with James. James, what are you feeling?
Spot here.
Well, not really. I mean, you've had a week to think about what Thorpe.
There is a few possibilities. They could be doing a multi-deal with B&M.
I just saw that
with what's happening at Chessie.
Yeah,
like the timing of them two happening at the same time makes it feel like it could be.
Yeah,
potentially another GCI because they could have done a multi-deal with that as well. Just a longer term deal. They're probably the two kind of up there ones. Maybe potentially an Intamin.
You reckon?
Intamin Blitz. Very popular at the moment. Would if they do it well, would draw crowds as well.
Oh, sure. Yeah, definitely. I did a poll on the Coast Gen stream that we did. If you haven't watched that, guys, go and check that out. Me and Joe sat down for 20 minutes and talked about it all as it hit as a news hit. And you guys came up with a mad poll. I put RMC on there, Intamin on there. I put GCI on there. Everyone wants a hyper. Everyone wants a B&M hyper. Like, legit. Everyone wants a B&M hyper. That is the consensus in the community. I think that everyone wants a B&M hyper. When everyone's been going on about an RMC for the last, like, forever, you know? And everyone's now saying we want a B&M hyper.
I think sense.
I think it's going to be it's going to be an RMC, right? And the only thing that everyone's saying that because it's become a joke now to say an RMC, and I think that's the only reason. But we could have an RMC. It's not a fourth.
You came up with.
Oh my god! I've just thought of something that Thorpe control everyone with.
What's that?
Well,
James,
they could call it rock.
Hey, listen.
They could play on the fact that they don't build an RMC but call it RMC.
And they would probably more than likely do that as well, just to
go. Yeah, fuck you.
You're going to take RMC.
It's going to
scare mazes.
It's going to be Octonauts Point 2, but based on Black Mirror.
Fucking hell.
Also, there's an infinity.
They're getting rid of the kids' rides, right?
It's sad that doesn't sound far-fetched for Merlin to do.
No,
it really doesn't, does it?
They're getting rid of the kids' rides, so that's clearing a lot more space.
Well, they said that part's not going to open for next year. I'm assuming because they barely ever use the beach, they might actually just relocate them right over to the beach.
I hope.
Can't we just get rid of the beach? I'm sorry.
It's just pointless at this point now.
Yeah,
it doesn't work. No one uses it.
I think all jokes aside, though, I think B&M Hyper does look like probably the most likely option. And I think given the land they've got to use and where it's going to be located, I think it would make the most logistical sense to have that at that park. Because not only do rides of that caliber pull a lot of people in, both sort of senses of like enthusiasts and also GP as well, but it's a good solid attraction by a good solid manufacturer. So that would be the most, sensible addition.
Sorry, Joe, I saw somewhere on Twitter that they said they're getting 5 flats and a roller coaster.
And again, that wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, there we go.
For
single rail though.
Yeah. For clarification, Fahrenheit Fan 97 is my friend Sam. He said you will get a Ride Entertainment Switzerland rollerball and you will like it.
Mate, that's a pipeline coaster could turn up at this point. Literally, still,
my
happy.
My thing with this, my thing with this coaster, I either want it to be amazing.
Oh shit!
Or just so hilariously shit that you can't help but laugh at it.
Which side do you want?
Either. I'll be happy with either. I'll be happy with either.
If it's ridiculous shit, Luke will never go there again.
No, I want it to be amazing. They need something good.
I really do.
I mean, let's face
it. It's been 10 years without development.
I want anything ridiculous.
There has been development, but all the development they've done in that 10 years.
I've had 10 years to plan it and 10 years to think about it. So it's got to be good.
But they've not had 10 years of team.
The cold logic of Joe. The cold logic.
The problem with Thorpe is that they've not had 10 years of, correct me if I'm wrong, but the same team thinking about it. They've had different teams come in. They've had different branding, different ideas for the pack, stupid ideas for the pack, great ideas for the pack. And then going back on,
I like Black Mirror.
Like, don't start. Like,
again, 5 Flunken Flies. I can't even say that.
Flunken Flies.
Flunken
Flies.
Jumper.
Flunken Flies.
Oh, I don't know.
More Black Mirror.
Personally, for me, I would rather have a B&M Hyper that's taller than the big one.
I can see that happening.
As Ben said, do you think they'd build a Hyper taller than the big one to take it to ground?
Oh, yeah. If they're going to build one, they will.
If they can, they will.
And it's only 235, right? It's not much more than they need to go.
It's the issue with a hyper
above sea level is 213 above ground level.
But Kyle, still fan
horror IP coaster. That's what I want.
But, the issue
Jeffrey Thompson made it pretty clear to us, right? Back in the day, he made it clear to us it's the biggest coaster in the world at the time.
No, that's a change, so isn't it?
What are you saying, James?
The issue with a hyper, it would be locals. They were
what, the petrol station?
No,
you've got Chertsey just there.
No, there are a lot of houses along the road leading towards Thorpe, and while you can't see stealth and stuff from the roadside,
which is true,
if you were to go into their back garden, yes, you can.
There's a couple literally on Monk's Wall.
So,
guys, it'd be a white track.
Yeah, it would have, if they're going that tall, it would have to be something that blends in, because that was a requirement for stealth.
A white B&M hyper,
which isn't an issue. Like,
no,
I mean, I like it when
it's contrast in the sky.
Yeah. Carl heard that they had a problem with getting height of stealth, so beating Big One might be hard.
Like, that's something that SeaWorld San Diego's had to do with all of well, just SeaWorld in general is. No, SeaWorld San Diego specifically has had to do with all of their coasters. Like, they have to basically have all of their coaster color schemes blend in with the sky. Like that's like, and they all look really good against the sky and stuff. I think the top of stealth looks good, like next to the sky and stuff.
Yeah, because when the train's on it. That's a good question.
What a decision.
What would you rather have, a 200-foot B&M or 100-foot Intamin?
So okay. So this gets onto what I would really like to see. Like I would go not in direct response to this. Like, what I would like to see is a B&M hyper, but just like any kind of hyper. So like maybe a Mach hyper or an Intamin hyper. Something like that. Like, if we get Hyperion 2 at Thorpe Park, I will not be mad at all.
I'll be happy with that.
But yeah, to something like that can eat crowds, that can provide a level of thrill like that and eat crowds the way it needs to at a park like Thorpe Park.
And that's exactly what they need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. It is terrible.
In direct response to this question, honestly, that is tough. That's a really good question.
See, when I stood on the big one at 150 feet and looked down, it's very high. Mm-hmm. Like, we all play No Limits and Planet Coaster, and we go, "Oh, it's only 150 feet. It's only 200 foot." But Jesus Christ, that's high. Like, you stand on 150 feet and look over, like, you're towering over Icon. You're towering over pretty much everything in the park.
150 foot.
I think Revolution
Velocicoaster is 150. Velocicoaster is 155.
There you go. So
that's 150 plus feet is tall.
Yeah.
And
so my answer to this question,
it would be the second tallest coaster in the park. But like, if they could get Intamin to get super creative again with the layout.
Exactly.
Then
that's what I was going to say.
Honestly, I'd be inclined to go with the Intamin.
Yeah, sure. That's what I was going to say. Because B&M hypers have been done. Intamin, off the back of Velocicoaster, not going to say we're going to get something like Velocicoaster if it is an Intamin, but the minds have been opened up to what they can do with the technology.
you see in just like in terms of the Intamin Mega Coaster product. So looking at Conda, Goliath, Expedition G-Force, like those, that door in terms of the the more free thinking, creative element design that obviously RMC introduced, we've only seen it, like, they've only just opened the door with it with the likes of Conda.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the Intamin Mega Coasters that came
excuse me.
Exactly. The Intamin Mega Coasters that came before that, again, like Goliath, Expedition G-Force, the Superman rides over in America, like, they are all very similar. Like, a lot of people say that G-Force is the best. Excuse me. But like they all look like they track similarly. Conda's the only one of those that we've seen. your comment about B&M hypers being done, yeah, it's very like we have Silver Star, we have Shambhala, we have Mako, we have we have all of the Makos running amazingly. By the way, marathon that out at sea. But yeah, like we've got all of the hypers over in the US. Like we only have one of the new gen Intamin mega coasters. Oh, in Conda. I would like to see another one of those. Do I think that the B&M hyper there's more likelihood of it being that? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But in terms of being able to, give that kind of thrill based on height, based on airtime and stuff like that. If you can couple that with a creative experience and creative layout, creative elements, I'd go with the Intamin personally.
I think we're all going to be very surprised at what's actually going to happen. I think.
Oh, I don't
have. I'm actively trying not to have expectations.
Figure 8 GCI on a bright orange paper. That's what I'm expecting.
I like Ben's comment there. It's Thorpe Park, guys. IP heavy. They'll build a hyper themed around breaking.
Yeah, I saw that.
I would be surprised if this is actually one of the times where they don't use an IP.
They need to not use an IP. Yeah.
Because it's not them. They don't usually actively go out to get the IP. It will be a company approaches them and goes, "Here, do you want to use this?" And then they'll come up with something.
Really?
But
quite a lot of the time, a few times they will go out. Like at the Saw IP, they looked for that one. They approached Lionsgate for that, but some of the other ones, a lot of the ones that they haven't used, are ones that have been approached by.
Do you remember what you said on the cast that we did, on the stream that we did? You mentioned something about like Phantasialand they've just built.
Yeah, so imagine if we ended up being all wrong and actually got a version of Fly here in the UK at Thorpe Park. What do you reckon to that?
Interesting.
Do you mean like a fully fleshed out themed area with something like Fly inserted into it, or just?
No, I'm assuming it would just
just the Vekoma Flying Coaster model.
No, I'm thinking like the Vekoma Flying Coaster model, but obviously with a full theme and full landscape and kind of everything in that area that fits in with the existing Old Town sort of area theme, something like that.
I don't think Thorpe would extend their budget to that, to be honest.
No. Yeah.
I mean, it's probably just kind of one of those sort of like out of the blue ideas that I kind of had, but I thought it would
We're talking about a park that themes the coasters to being destroyed, so they're not
because they don't have to maintain it, and even then they fail in that.
I think it's going to happen, but as I said, like it'd be intriguing.
Like the full station
Burger King,
where they had destroyed wood. That destroyed wood is now gone, and it's just metal.
Stupid idea. I noticed that.
Get their bed.
I like what you said there, Luke. It's true, isn't it? They do. If you look at all the, it's quite funny actually.
Saw's queue line theming is barbed wire.
Yeah. I love it.
Barbed wire
could be spinball, couldn't it?
And knock-off new look mannequins in weird trap things.
Hang on a second. That's pretty good though. I like that.
No, it's not. No, you can't see it anymore.
It's not
Don't get me started.
You're waiting another 10 years for Fly.
Right, anyway, we'll get off that.
Kind of like Phantasialand.
I think like
now nobody wants one. We're getting an RMC.
I think the likelihood is ultimately it's going to be either a B&M hyper or probably a GCI with inversions. I think those are probably the two most likely candidates at this stage.
GCI with inversions. I said to you, Joe, I wouldn't be angry about that. That'd be great. It'd be, UK's first GCI with inversions.
See, this is the thing. This is the thing, though. Like, there hasn't been any sort of inclination from any one particular manufacturer that would suggest that they're swaying in any one direction. So, like, all the
I know one thing, Mikhile.
All the suggestions that were coming.
I know one thing.
Go on.
Like you went to IAPA. If this is a wooden coaster of any fucking sort, it's got RGB on the side of it. I'm putting a $5 on that now. It's got lights. It's got lights. It's got, 4 nights a year we have. It's got lights. RGB, sponsored by Racer. It's the gaming thing they did from about 3 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah.
The return of esports.
Semi-response Stiller.
Sorry, I cut you off there, but I had to make that point. It's definitely going to have RGB if it's a wooden coaster.
They do need to have something very good that needs to draw the crowds, because that's why they've been so hesitant on investing.
Yeah,
because the Swarm didn't draw the crowds like they wanted.
With that being said, this consultation that's happening on the 10th. It's a public one, right?
So, yes. So if we're going by what Chessington did, we might get a few little bits of a possible very, very rough layout.
I have no limits on standby.
One thing that would be mentioned most likely is the height of the ride. So that's
because of the aviation side.
So they already have. So they already have ideas for what they want the coaster to be.
It will be, yeah.
Oh, it would have been planned out years ago. This wouldn't be just like in the last.
It's all right drawing the crowd.
This is basically them trying to go to the public. Here's what we're going to try and apply for, just so you have an idea. Because if they get a lot of negative feedback about it, they won't go through the application process.
Right.
Because it's expensive to apply for that planning permission. And if they're going to get a lot of negative comments on that application, it will be thrown out. They won't get the approval.
Right.
So public consultation is always to gauge kind of how the public are going to react to their planning application being submitted.
I thought it was just basically free reign for us to just jump in and start putting in just suggestions left, right, and center.
I wish it was that.
It's a Chain Dogs podcast, Mikhile.
I wish it was that. However, no, it's going to be it's basically just them to gauge what would
you do now if you did that? What do you want? What do you want us to build?
What do you want from us?
Oh, that'd be epic.
Literally, you could just look at your Twitter. See all of these letters, R, M, and C.
I have to ask it. Everyone will be like, don't ask Aaron. Don't ask Aaron.
Just look at the trailers, maze.
Bloody retail in there.
How dare you, Jim? How dare you?
Yeah. Everyone just starts suggesting 500-foot T-Rex.
I would, after Mikhail's description of Velocicoaster, I'd be like Velocicoaster, but with no raptors, but Creek Freak Massacre people instead.
Horror theme, thank you.
You know what?
I heard the idea of a Creek Freak extended area.
So it has to be right. It's the most successful area that they've had that they've implemented.
Well, no. I just hear that from
Colossus is going. That's it.
More of us just talking on Twitter and stuff. And I was like, I kind of.
You're talking in the broader sense of social media then at the moment.
Yeah. Just other people throwing around the idea of just an extended Creek Freak theme. And honestly, I would be interested in that. I would like to see how they would apply that theme to an attraction, to an actual attraction.
If a Scare Maze gives birth to a world-class roller coaster, that is fucking awesome.
That's the pinnacle.
That's a sick way to introduce some lore to a theme attraction.
Well, Smiler really. Well, it didn't, but it was they had the
they had Smiler.
Yeah, you are right with this, but Creek Freak's kind of it's.
Yeah,
I just feel like it's
they did Sanctuary at the same time as Smiler, really. But a bit of a backstory type thing.
Yeah, but it came
out. Creek Freak has been standalone for a couple.
Yeah, Creek Freak's standalone. Yeah, but you are kind of right. You did make me think then, but
it's best maze I ever did. Best maze I've ever did.
I wish I did
saying that. You keep saying that.
Yeah,
pissed off. I never did that.
Creek Freak Massacre Subterra.
Well. Right. This has been awesome, guys. We've touched on so much of Mikhail's trip. The first hour was basically all about Velocicoaster. So if you're just tuning in now, head on back. Make sure you listen to everything. And if you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, please give us a follow and make sure you give us a review as well.
If anything, this was part one. There's no way we can talk about everything.
This is part one. I want to cut you off because I want Sean to hear about some shit as well.
And we still got to discuss IAPA.
Yeah,
she delayed that from the other week for you being back.
Yeah, like it's just been absolutely awesome.
You talked about it so well as well. Like
brilliant. At the start, I thought you were going to burst into tears talking about.
I ain't even fucking started. Like, like I was watching a Disney movie at the end. Like, Andy's walking away from Wooden Buzzy. Wooden Buzzy.
None of it can speak now.
Wooden Buzzy.
Wooden Buzzy sounds like a
Buzzy Wood. No, James.
No, James.
One of many Wooden Buzzies.
But no, guys, thank you to everyone for tuning in tonight and for listening to us as well. And hey, Sean, how you doing?
Just literally, just getting that in right there.
That's fair. That's fair. Sean's is hybrid
at the last second.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a last minute 90th minute win of that.
That is Fergie time right there. All right, then, guys. Thank you so much for listening to us and watching us as well on YouTube at 8 p.m. every Wednesday over on YouTube channel Chain Dogs Podcast. You can follow us on Twitter. And you can follow everyone else in the link in the video description below. Thank you so much for watching. Mikhile, thanks for reliving your rides on Velocicoaster. That was very inspiring. No Limits hasn't opened up on my computer at all. Just saying that. But yeah. So we'll be back next week. And just a quick one, actually. Guys, Clamshell Awards, the nominations are open. Please go to cupcakeandcoasters.co.uk, I believe, or on her Twitter as well. Jordan's running the awards again this year. You can find out how to nominate on there as well. Also go to coastergen.com because we have a link there as well. I believe Joe probably has it for Park Insanity as well.
Absolutely.
But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.